One of the biggest mistakes I've noticed with a lot of people who have trouble thrifting is that they go thrifting without any plan. They walk into the thrift store and start picking up things from wherever, whatever, and end up buying a lot of things that they either don't need, don't want, don't know why they bought it, and more importantly, sometimes over the budget that they're trying to stick to. I have made this mistake many times before, and so I am not judging, but here's what you can do to avoid this. Have a plan. Meaning, write down what it is that you're looking for. If it's whether it's a new blazer, if you're looking for jeans, if you're looking for something for the house, write it down before you go thrifting so that when you get there, you can refer to that list of things and stay focused, on plan, and on budget. Going thrifting without a plan is absolutely going to end up having you in a world of hurt later if you are just walking around throwing things into a buggy to say that you went thrifting. So try it next time and just see how intentional and successful your thrifting trip becomes when you go with a plan. Hi, my name is Ayana Peterson, the Thrifting Diva, and on this channel, we talk about how to live a absolutely luxe, fabulous life, but on a budget. And thrifting is one of my main source of getting things for my home, my closet, just my life. And so in today's video, we're talking about 5 mistakes that I often see or hear from people who do not have great success in thrifting. So let's jump into it. Mistake number 2 is buying a lot of stuff because they're cheap. Now, yes, you are absolutely in the right frame of mind if you're thrifting to save money, because thrifting will save you money. However, we don't want to just put a lot of things in our closet just because it was cheap when you got it. You need to be intentional about what you're buying. And just because it's cheap doesn't always mean that it's going to create that luxe wardrobe that we're all looking for. So I have this rule of thumb that I try to follow. 3 outfit rule. If when I pick up that item, I can picture myself or picture the things in my closet where I can use the item at least 3 different outfits, then it is definitely a contender to go home. If I cannot, then maybe it's something that I absolutely do not need and I may leave it. I don't want to bring home just a lot of things just because they're cheap. They need to be cheap, but they also need to fit into my wardrobe, make my wardrobe a better wardrobe and luxe all at the same time. So for those who are just picking up things because they're cheap, next time you go, try the 3 outfit rule. Check and see if you can use that piece in 3 different outfits. If you can't, then consider leaving it right there in the thrift store. Mistake number 3. And now I know a lot of you listening to this probably have heard this one before. A reason that a lot of people probably hate thrifting or don't believe they find a lot in thrifting is because, I'm going to say it, you're not trying clothes on. It can be a hassle, but let me explain. In a thrift store, you're going to find tons of different variety of designers. And in those designers, they come with all their various different ways of creating their sizes. And not all mediums are a medium and not all smalls are small. So if you're not trying things on, then you're probably going to be missing out on how the item actually looks on you, and it might be something that looks amazing that you left on the hanger because the size says one thing and you wear another. Now, when I go to the thrift store, I normally try to wear some layered clothing that I can try on things over my clothes without having to always go to the fitting room. One, sometimes thrift stores don't even have the fitting rooms or they're full. But if you wear some leggings or a maxi dress, you can easily throw on an item over it to see how it fits. Trying on your item is going to allow you to see whether or not this really is something that needs to go home or if it needs to stay in the thrift store. But please do not be afraid to look at a size and say, I'm going to try this on anyway, even if it is not your size. Mistake number 4 is not checking the quality and looking over the items before you buy them. I often see this where someone gets really excited about an item. They try it on, it looks fabulous on them, and they are ready to go to the register to purchase it without checking it over. You got to look for the zippers. You got to look for the seams if things are unraveling. You have to look for stains because some stains ladies, no matter what you do, those things are going to be stained for life. And so it doesn't make sense paying any money, whether it's dirt cheap, to take something home that you're not going to be able to wear. So before you leave the thrift stores, please go over the items. Make sure that you do a run through of everything to make sure that if there are stains on it, there are stains that you know that you can take out. If the zipper is broken, whether or not you are going to take the time to go to the tailor to get it fixed. I have a bag of stuff that, trust me, it's been probably over a year where I said that I was going to go take it to get fixed. And so no longer do I do that. I know myself, I'm not going to the tailor right away. So I don't buy things that know that I will need to get fixed. Now, a button that you can sew back on in, watching one of your favorite shows, easy day. But anything that's going to require any amount of work and or it's just not going to come out through normal wash, then maybe leave it alone. It is not worth the price that you will pay for it to bring it home. And the last mistake that I see folks making when it comes to thrifting is overpaying for items at a thrift store. Now, this might trigger some folks. However, let me explain. Yes, at a thrift store, you are probably going to get a deal on most items. However, I do see and find that some stores will mark up their prices on items, especially if it's an in-demand item or maybe a designer item. And so I understand thrift stores are still got to make some profit at the end of the day. However, I am still shopping for a deal. And if items are not in a deal window, then I'm just going to pass on it. So here's what I mean by that. Let's say a jeans is normally priced at $100 retail and the thrift store pricing it at $80, then yeah, we're going to have to pass on that because you might just end up getting that on sale, brand new at the retailer's location, online, or wherever. So I always tell people, ladies, research is the key. You find a pair of jeans in a thrift store, it is super easy to go into Google and look up how much it's retailing for. And from there, you could determine if the price the thrift stores are charging is a deal or not. Some of these thrift stores definitely don't understand the word deal because I have come across where the actual retail price is cheaper than what the thrift stores are charging. And when we come to those games, I'm not a player. So make sure you're not spending too much at the thrift store. Even though we're getting deals, we want to make sure the deal is legit. Now, do you make any of these mistakes? Let's talk in the chat below and let me know what mistakes you've made in the past or which mistakes I didn't cover that you see folks making that is preventing them from actually having an amazing time when it comes to thrifting. If you love this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing so you know when I drop my next video on living a luxe fabulous life on a budget.